Matching hundreds. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. Pushes past him, and now running right through it. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw him on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
And Detroit getting set to go now. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
I mean, what do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game. Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Watson. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6, and the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop. And now the Lions' defensive starters.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and makes sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 19 carries, 109 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
The false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They go play action now. Taylor over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Returning it, John Ross. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 50, it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he was able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Sony Michel, his 1st carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. To Barkley on the check down. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. On second down, here's Watson. This will be caught just inside the 10. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a first and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And the coach has decided to throw the red flag. He will challenge this play.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Sliding out of the pocket. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end of quarter one. 14-3, that's our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Taylor. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Ross on the return. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Richmond.
Now a first down throw. Watson throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On second down, here's Barkley. Tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 77 yards. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him. Gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. To throw is Watson, rolling to his right. And this will be incomplete.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line.
Come back. Richmond. Tiger.
Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open just a split second too late on the release. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And it's up and good. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
To throw is Taylor. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. gun. It's Taylor. Coleman has it here right side. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Ready. 3-19. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Taylor. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. Well, they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Watson. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker. Complete. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Come back, come back. Come back, come back.
On 1st and 10, Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Ready. 3-19.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On the counter, Elliott. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Ready. 3-19. 3-19.
On 3rd down, Taylor. Nowhere to get away, and down he goes. Taylor is sacked. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you get 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if in fact they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the second quarter. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Watson on first down. Flushed out right. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
A first down carry by Elliott. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Taylor on third down, throws incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
They begin with a run by Barkley. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. A gain of 3, second down. Well, earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to defend him. I think you used the term bottle him up at different levels. They've struggled to do that.
They certainly have, because when you see them approach, in order to bottle them up at different levels, that front line's got to take it.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Carl Davis in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Come back, come back.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. On first down, Watson. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. from the red zone now. Watson. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To the air yet again. Watson. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Deshaun Watson in the final seconds of the first half, and the Lions add on to their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about, and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Zerline good with a PAT, and a route is on here in this first half. Zerline out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where you see the final score there. 13-7, your final score. From there, let's head over to New Era Field to see what's happening with the Bills. And they were winners in that game over the visiting Kansas City Chiefs. Baker Mayfield, a strong performance there, over 300 yards passing with 3 touchdowns in the victory. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Carson Wentz leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups we're going to see him when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Watson now going to run the option right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Watson, off play action. That's complete to John Ross. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First target, first catch, and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Come back, come back. Two jet. Richmond.
To throw on second is Watson. He's thrown at about the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Tiger.
From the gun, here's Watson. Steps away to his left. Touchdown, Lions. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Zerline out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Taylor to throw. He went backwards there 8 yards, and it brings up third down. The Steelers on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 34. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
Reset.
It's Barkley on the counter. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
And Zerline's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Flag, 32.
On second down, here's Taylor. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Taylor. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Mike Williams that time. And it's 3rd down.
There was no shyness there pushing the ball downfield, but I like the coverage on the play. In good position. And when you have a 50-50 ball, who's going to come down with it? I like the way they made the play. Came across and knocked it away.
Throwing on 3rd down. Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the Steelers set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it? But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready. 3-19. 3-19.
From the gun, it's Taylor. And that is incomplete.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now here's Ross. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at the turn.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. A toss out to Barkley. Finding room at the 30. And a cutback right sideline. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7. Leave. With a 2nd and 3.
Run, 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 run. Leopard!
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Over!
They'll run it now out of the gun. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd and 2, Webb. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Back to the air, Taylor after the pick six. And he finds Howard complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now Taylor. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Ready. 3-19. 3-19.
Second and 10 now. It's Taylor. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Third and long, Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. Now it's Taylor. The ball comes out. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this will be taken at the 13. Spinning away. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Webb. Throw left side complete. It's done. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, inbounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. That has to drive the coach crazy.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here we go with Michelle. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Watch it now, Barney. Over.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. Here's Webb. Being chased out left. Powerful running. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Mike, 53, Mike. Watch it now, Barney.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Webb. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Taylor to throw on second down. His throw incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Third and long, it's Taylor. Fighting his way through contact. Caught right side, Judon Brown. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Pretty move. So a change of possession here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Going deep downfield for Ross. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
As an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Lions, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.